In this episode, we are going to be testing ourselves with some language arts. Read each question carefully, then select the appropriate response. Number 1. The children dash their clothes very quickly. The options are misgrow, outgrow, pre-grow, ingrow. The correct answer there would be outgrow. Number 2. He decided to dash the offer I gave him. The options are disconsider, inconsider, preconsider, reconsider. Answer there, reconsider. Number 3. We were dash, so we had to surrender. The options here are outnumbered, ill-numbered, unnumbered, renumbered. The answer, outnumbered. Next one. The new sales representative was admired for his effective, ineffectiveness, ineffectiveness, or effectiveness. And the answer there would be effectiveness. Number 5. To prepare for his retirement, my father made rewarding options: invests, investing, invested, or investments. Answer there would be investments. Number 6. You can take any book you want depending on your dash. Options: preference, reference, preferring, referred. The answer there would be preference. Number 7 onward, the instructions are as follows. Choose a word that most means the same as the one underlined. So we're looking for synonyms here. In the first 6, we were looking at the spelling. Let's just go over those again. So using the correct response, I'm just going to read the sentence. Number 1, the children outgrew their clothes very quickly. Number 2, he decided to reconsider the offer I gave him. Number 3, we were outnumbered, so we had to surrender. Number 4, the new sales representative was admired for his effectiveness. Number 5, to prepare for his retirement, my father made rewarding investments. Number 6, you can take any book depending on your preference. So it says here, choose the word that most means the same as the one underlined. Again, we're looking for synonyms. And here we go. Number 7, the footballer's energy was exhausted at the end of the first half. The word exhausted there would be similar in meaning to complete, exercised, given back, or used up. And the answer would be used up. So if we were to read the sentence and swap these around, the footballer's energy was used up at the end of the first half. Number 8. Carpooling is a prevalent activity in many modern cities, and the options are new, cheap, common, and free. And the underlined word here is prevalent. What does prevalent mean? And the answer would be common. So to swap the words in, carpooling is a common activity in many modern cities. So this really means a lot of people will group together to drive together to save on money. So instead of having 5 different vehicles with one person each, we could have one vehicle with 5 persons in it, and that would save on gas and save on carbon dioxide going into the environment, all of that. Number 9. If you dilute the drink with some water, it may taste better. And the word underlined there would be dilute. So, what does dilute mean? Dilute, based on the options given, weaken, strengthen, sweeten, or thicken? And the answer would be weaken. So if you have some drink, for example, that's too sweet, we're going to add some water to it to do what? Dilute it, meaning that we're going to weaken the concentration so it would taste better. Number 10. Our netball team goal shooter has a few eccentric habits, such as swinging the ball underarm before scoring. Options, and the word eccentric is what is highlighted, and the words for the options are common, attractive, strange, dramatic, and the answer would be strange. So to review this section, exhausted is similar in meaning to used up, prevalent is similar in meaning to common, dilute is similar in meaning to weaken, and eccentric is similar in meaning to strange. Next section here says, read the passage below and answer questions 11 and 12. Rainforests are a kind of forest habitat. They are found in warm places and are full of many tall trees and leafy plants. They are called rainforests because they also get a great deal of rain every year, helping all the plants to grow. Because rainforests are warm, wet, and dense, they are full of life. Millions of different kinds of plants and animals live there, and some haven't ever been discovered yet. It is important to protect rainforest habitats for all the creatures who live there and for humans too. Rainforests produce 20% of the oxygen that all of us in the world need to breathe. Now remember, when you're going to do questions like these, once your comprehension questions, you have to read the passage more than once. But for the purposes of this presentation, I'm going to read it only once. Okay, it says 11, question 11. What is the main idea of the passage? Is it that rainforests are warm? That's A. B. Rainforests get a great deal of rain every year. C. Rainforests are important for humans, animals, and plants. Or D. There are many plants and animals that live in rainforests. And the answer there would be C. Rainforests are important for humans, animals, and plants. Number 12. The passage states that rainforests are full of life. What does that mean? A. They are very attractive. B. Many living things live there. C. Millions of rainforests exist. D. They provide oxygen for humans. And the correct answer there would be B. Many living things live there. Alright, the next one says, read the passage below and answer questions 13 to 18. The Cuban struggle for independence captured the American imagination for years. Some newspapers had agitated for U.S. intervention, especially because of its large financial investment, and featured sensational stories of Spanish atrocities against the native Cuban population, which were exaggerated for propaganda purposes. Such coverage continued after Spain had replaced Wheeler and changed its policies. American public opinion was very much in favor of intervening on the behalf of the Cubans. In January 1898, a riot by Cuban Spanish loyalists against the new autonomous government broke out in Havana. They destroyed the printing presses of 4 local newspapers that had published articles critical of the Spanish-American atrocities. The U.S. Consul General cabled Washington expressing fear for the lives of Americans living in Havana. In response, the battleship USS Maine was sent in Havana in the last week of January. On February 15, 1898, the Maine was rocked by an explosion, killing 260 of the crew and sinking the ship in the harbor. At the time, A military board of investigation decided that the Maine had exploded due to the detonation of a mine underneath the hull. However, later investigations determined that it was likely to have been something inside the ship, though the cause of the explosion has not been clearly established to this day. In an attempt to appease the United States, the colonial government took two steps, which had been demanded by President William McKinley. It ended forced relocation of residents from their homes and offered to negotiate with the independence fighters, but the truce was rejected by the rebels. All right. 13. What is the main idea of the passage? A. The Cubans struggled for their independence. B. The Maine exploded, killing many. C. Americans were concerned about what was happening in Cuba. And the best option there would be A. The Cubans struggled for their independence. And if we look at the first line, it says the Cuban struggle for independence captured the American imagination. That shows some form of struggle there. It is specifically stated that they struggled. All right, we go on. Number 14. Why was a battleship sent from America to Havana? A. To fight for Cuba's independence. B. To protect American lives in Cuba. C. To kill all the rebels in Cuba. D. To investigate an explosion. And the correct answer there would be B. To protect American lives in Cuba. And if we go over, we can see here the U.S. Consul General cabled Washington expressing fear for the lives of Americans living in Havana. In response, the battleship, the USS Maine, was sent to Havana in the last week of January. So that paragraph is linked to the answer for question 14. 15. What is the meaning of the word truce? Agreement to stop fighting, payment for damages, independence, or freedom? And the answer there would be what? A. An agreement to stop fighting. And the word truce here comes at the very end of the passage. It says here, in an attempt to appease the United States, the colonial government took two steps, which were demanded by President William McKinley. It ended forced relocation of residents from their homes and offered to negotiate with the independence fighters. But the truce was rejected by the rebels. All right. So A would be the answer for number 15. Number 16. Which word below can replace appease as used in the passage? And it's in the last paragraph. In an attempt to appease the US, the colonial government took two steps. So, is it, based on the context, is it to reject, punish, displease, or satisfy? And the answer would be satisfy. If we were to swap the words out, in an attempt to satisfy the United States, the colonial government took two steps. Number 17. What is a part of speech of the word steps as used in the last paragraph? So the colonial government took two steps which were demanded by William McKinley, President William McKinley. Is that a noun, a verb, pronoun, or conjunction? And that would be a verb because it would relate to two actions that were taken. Number 18. Which of these words used in the first paragraph is a preposition? Against, because, some, or were? And the correct answer there would be against. Remember, preposition shows a relationship between two words in a sentence. And this one shows a relationship between the Spanish atrocities that are committed against the Cuban population. So it's showing the Spanish and Cubans as opposed to each other. Number 19, no one really knows dash sent the bouquet. Is it no one really knows who, whom, that, me? So the answer is who. Now, to solve this one, you're going to say who really would be he and whom would be him. All right. So let us look at the sentence and break it in two. Would we say that sent the bouquet, me sent the bouquet, he sent the bouquet, or him sent the bouquet? We would say he sent the bouquet. Therefore, we should put in who. No one really knows who sent the bouquet. This sentence needs a what? A subject. Who is the subject of the sentence, and we can replace the who with the subject pronoun he. He sent the bouquet. All right, number 20. Can I have the pencils dash were left for me? So is it they, whatever, who, or that? And the answer would be that. Can I have the pencils that were left for me? Alright guys, so in this episode we did a little test. We went over synonyms. We went over being able to use words to answer comprehension type questions, and this is just a general review. Take the time, make sure that you read over, and if you're unclear, speak with your teacher and get the help needed to answer these questions properly. Alright guys, see you in the next episode.